California Adventure is one of the parks that means the most to me. We already put this park on the hot seat and looked at the biggest problem with each ride in the park. So today we're flipping the script. We're looking at the best aspect of every single ride within California Adventure. Before we get started, please like this video, please leave a comment down below. Let me know what your favorite aspects are of every ride in the park, or what is your favorite aspect of your favorite ride at California Adventure? What is your favorite aspect of your least favorite ride at California Adventure? I would love to hear in the comments below. Of course, please subscribe to this YouTube channel. At the time of this recording, we are pushing for 20,000 subscribers, so it would mean a lot if you helped us reach that goal. Thank you so much. We're gonna start things off in Hollywoodland. The only attraction within this area of the park is Monsters Inc. Mike and Sully to the rescue. And I'm gonna be perfectly honest with you, my favorite aspect of this ride is that it's closing. I think this is a terrible ride. It's one of Disney's worst dark rides. It's a cheap reskin of a ride that was so deeply hated, but because it's based on one of Pixar's best movies, a lot of people seem to give it a pass. Also, it's like had the benefit of time, like people have grown up with this ride. Including me, I've grown up with this ride and I still recognize how terrible it is, so you people don't have an excuse. It's a bad ride. But if you're gonna put a gun to my head and tell me I need to pick a real answer, I do like how the finale has mirrors that make it look like the door factory is much larger than it actually is. A lot of Disney rides use mirrors really effectively, and this is probably one of the most memorable use of mirrors within California Adventure. And that's it for Hollywoodland. Monsters Inc. is the only ride there, which is kind of crazy. But we're moving on to Avengers Campus, which of course is home to one of my favorite rides of all time, Guardians of the Galaxy Mission Breakout. There is so much to like about Mission Breakout. I have a full review video already on the channel. It has an unreal Halloween overlay as well. It has an awesome rocket animatronic in the pre-show. This might be one of Disney's most immersive attractions. Like, I'm not even joking when I say that. Like, if you analyze the story, it makes perfect sense, like what is happening, why it's happening. Joe Brody did such a great job developing this story, and I'm a pretty big fan of the theming. It has such an unreal atmosphere. It's pure fun. The music and the different drop sequences make it so re-rideable. But honestly, as a theme park fan, I love airtime, and Mission Breakout has by far the best airtime within the Disneyland Resort, so I'm gonna pick that as my favorite aspect of Mission Breakout. But honestly, there's so much to love about this ride that it's hard to narrow it down to just one thing. Moving over to the other attraction within Avengers Campus. This ride does not have the same problem as Mission Breakout. Web Slingers, a Spider-Man adventure, is very, very flawed. It has many different problems. I feel like once the expansion for Avengers Campus is open, this ride will take a more appropriate tertiary role within the land. Because right now, as it stands today, it's just suffering by comparison to the other Spider-Man attraction that we have in this country, which of course is at Islands of Adventure. That's highly regarded as one of the best dark rides of all time. Web Slingers at California Adventure isn't even the best shooting dark ride in the park, which is a big problem. It's very short, but I'm gonna try to stay positive here. My favorite aspect about this ride is that it takes you to different locations within Avengers Campus. I thought that was really cool when I first wrote it, and I still do appreciate that aspect. It makes the land feel more cohesive and like real when the attractions acknowledge what is in the land. And I think this might be the only ride that like actually does that, which is interesting. But we're gonna move next door from Avengers Campus into Cars Land. Right down the pathway from Spider-Man is Luigi's Rollickin' Roadsters. This is California Adventure's trackless ride. Unfortunately, this park does not have a trackless dark ride. I would love for that to change at some point, but we will see. This is a very fun, like flat ride almost. Has some fun music, some fun motions. My favorite aspect about this attraction is the final spin. I think every single ride cycle that this ride goes through ends with a spin, and that's like always the most fun moment about the attraction. It's pretty cool for what it is. Right down Route 66 is Mater's Junkyard Jamboree. This is a very similar type of attraction, but I think by far the best aspect of Junkyard Jamboree is the laterals. Like, that's the entire point of the ride, getting pushed to the side. Actually so fun, the way that your ride vehicle like builds up that potential energy and then whips all the way out, and then you can like slide right into the person next to you. It's like, it's fun. It's like a laughter machine. It's like a bonding experience. It's pretty cool. I do appreciate this ride for what it is. It's a very fun ride system, so much so that it has been duplicated for other characters in other Disney resorts like Toy Story Land at Walt Disney World or Big Hero 6 at Tokyo Disney Parks. So fun. It's an awesome ride system. But by far the most notable attraction within Cars Land is Radiator Springs Racers. I have been pretty clear on this channel, I'm not the biggest fan of this ride. I think it is incredibly overrated and it is not worth the wait times that it gets. But even as a self-proclaimed Racers hater, I cannot deny that the rock work on this attraction is absolutely jaw-dropping. Like, the entrance into Cars Land from San Francisco Square is, like, unreal. Like, that's an amazing theme park visual. That's, like, one of the greatest vista views, like, ever. It's so well done. Willie's Butte is beautiful. You have the waterfall in the back. The rock work within Cars Land is genuinely amazing. And, of course, it is the backdrop for Radiator Springs Racers. So that aspect of the attraction is like undisputed, unreal, incredible, but I still don't think it's one of Disney's best dark rides, in my opinion. Right below Cars Land is Grizzly Peak, which is home to 2 attractions better than Radiator Springs Racers, starting things off with Grizzly River Run. This is my favorite raft ride I have ever ridden. It is so fun. My favorite aspect of this attraction are the drops. First drop is really short, but it's really fun. It gets a good splash, and it goes right below that waterfall that you can see when you're walking in front of Avengers Campus. It's very cool. But the second drop is where it is at. You like spin as you go down, so it has a completely different dynamic. It's actually pretty forceful how fast it spins. You go under some streams of water from the flume that you already went through, and then you have a great splashdown. Disney built a viewing area right by the splashdown, which I really appreciate. I love getting close to rides like that and seeing people's reactions, watching the ride vehicles. It just has such a great energy in that area of the park. It's such a fun ride watching the reactions of people that you're with. And the drop is always the highlight. Right next to Grizzly River Run is Soarin, which has multiple different ride films. At the time of this recording, Soarin' Across America was just announced, which I'm very excited for. I'm curious to see how it stacks up against Soarin' Around the World and, of course, Soarin' Over California. But every version of Soarin' is gonna have that music, and the music is my favorite aspect of Soarin'. It is so well done. There's a famous story that the composer for this attraction offered to do this for free because he had a vision, and you really feel that vision. It is so well done. Love the music. It's so iconic. It's so grand, so majestic. Soarin' does a really good job capturing the beauty of flight. Moving from Grizzly Peak into Paradise Gardens Park, we're going to talk about Ariel's Undersea Adventure. This is a pretty fun dark ride with a lot of good aspects. By far the best scene is the under the sea sequence with just so much going on. It's very visually appealing. Probably the best moment, in my opinion, is going under the water and watching the wave flow over the vehicle in front of you. Or I guess it's behind you because you're going backwards. But my favorite aspect of this attraction is the Ursula animatronic. She's so cool. She's so well done. Very fluid. Great motion. You have a lot of time to soak in the scene. It's actually a great animatronic. Whenever I think about this animatronic, I can never not think about the video that went viral of her head falling off a few years ago. That was certainly interesting. But moving on to the Golden Zephyr. This is actually a pretty underrated attraction in my opinion. I love it, love it, love it. It has beautiful views, but the structure is so cool. I love the silhouette of the ride. At night, it looks like a Christmas tree, the way it's all lit up and all the wires have little lights in them. Watching it spin at night is so cool. It is a very visually appealing ride. Moving on to the first of 2 roller coasters in this park. Goofy's Sky School is an off-the-shelf wild mouse with some very charming theming. I do really appreciate the Goofy theme, learning to fly a plane. I think it's really cute. But in terms of a ride, my favorite aspect of it is the first drop. I feel like you take it with so much speed. You build so much momentum going through all those switchbacks. It feels like the brakes don't slow you down enough before you rip down that drop, and it's actually a really fun moment. At the time of this recording, I just rode this a few nights ago. It was actually so much fun. Love that ride. Right across from Goofy Sky School is Jumpin' Jellyfish. This is basically just an outdoor elevator. But I have so many memories with it. I'm very nostalgic for Jumpin' Jellyfish. It's a very charming attraction, but my favorite aspect is the views. Whenever I try to ride Jumpin' Jellyfish, I always try to aim for a jellyfish that is facing the pier so you can have that amazing view of the water, the wheel, and Incredicoaster back there. Just an amazing vista. Might be one of my favorite theme park views of all time. For me personally. I understand there's more impressive ones out there, but I always love the roller coaster wrapped around the wheel like that. Moving on to Silly Symphony Swings. This is another very charming Paradise Gardens park attraction. It is a wave swinger that you can find at many other parks around the world. I feel like this one goes faster than most of them, which is kind of funny. But my favorite aspect of Silly Symphony Swings is the music. It's very loud. I feel like you can hear it from all areas of the pier. You can be on the opposite side looking at something else and you can hear the music from Silly Symphony Swings. And I feel like that brings just such a fun energy, such a good vibe. When we made our tier list for this park, my girlfriend described it as like giving you main character energy, and honestly, I completely agree. Love the Silly Symphony Swings. Moving on to Inside Out Emotional Whirlwind. This is probably one of the weaker spinners in the pier area, at least in my opinion. It is literally just a re-themed Flix Flyers. They don't even have the voice actors that voice the Inside Out characters, which is really annoying, but whatever. But I do appreciate it for bringing kinetic energy to this corner of the pier, because since Maliboomer was removed for years and years and years, it was just empty and bare. Emotional Whirlwind really brought this corner of the pier back to life, even if it's not the greatest attraction at all. Moving on to a different kind of spinner, we're going to talk about Pixar Pal Around. This is the park's icon. It's very visually appealing. It's like the backdrop for World of Color. As I said, I loved how the roller coaster wraps around it. It's so visually appealing. But my favorite aspect of it is the swinging gondolas. That's so unique. I know it's not the only coaster wheel out there, but it's still so fun. The swinging gondolas just add such a unique dynamic to the Ferris wheel experience that it kind of ruined all other Ferris wheels for me. I think this one will always be my favorite. It's such a unique thrill. The second swing when you go out over the edge is actually kind of intimidating, and I love seeing people's reactions to it. It's so fun. The last dark ride that we're going to talk about in this video is Toy Story Midway Mania. This is the better shooting dark ride in this park in my opinion, and I feel like popular opinion agrees with that. It's such a fun shooting dark ride. What I appreciate most about it is that it really amps up the competitiveness of the game. I think this might be the most competitive shooting dark ride I've ever done, and that just makes it so much fun. It really has such a high energy. I really love that it hypes up the competitive spirit. It makes it so much more engaging, and I love the Toy Story characters because I am a big fan of Toy Story. Overall, it's a fantastic ride. Next door to Midway Mania is Jesse's Critter Carousel. On paper, this is just a carousel, but I really appreciate how it has the Woody's Roundup characters as the quote-unquote horses that you ride on. They're so cute, so many different designs. As I said, I love Toy Story, so I was really happy to see that. This is probably one of the few improvements that Pixar Pier made, in my opinion, because King Arthur Carousel was just kind of generic. This actually feels like it has Disney charm. Moving over to a ride that it was absolutely not an improvement. We're gonna talk about Incredicoaster. So I have many problems with the Incredicoaster ride experience. I think the story is flawed. I think the theming is flawed. But at the end of the day, it's still the same roller coaster, California Screamin'. It's the same layout that I love. As I said twice now, I love how it wraps around the Ferris wheel. It creates such a cool silhouette, and I love that DCA has the sunset behind it, so it creates so many cool visuals with the roller coaster and the wheel. It's genuinely beautiful at sunset. I love it so much. And part of the reason that is happening is because of the layout of Incredicoaster. I also just love how symmetrical it is. It's just very visually appealing. Like, there's one large helix on the other side, there's one large helix on the far side. There's a lower level to both helixes. The loop is right in front of the big lift hill. It's just such a good layout, in my opinion. Very well designed. And of course, Incredicoaster kept the same layout. I can't take that away from this ride. So that is my opinion on the best aspect of every single ride at California Adventure. Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? I would love to hear in the comments below. Please like this video, and of course, please subscribe to this YouTube channel. Thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you later.